This week on the show, we're going to play a little bit of catch up again. I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about my experience as a chauffeur riding solo and some of the things I've seen and heard. And I got to tell you, it's fascinating seeing how some of the other half lives. Wow. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Y'all stay tuned. Hey, what's happening, everybody? I am Pruitt. This is Everyday People doing everyday shit on whatever podcast app you enjoy, as well as streaming live on YouTube. Hope y'all are doing well. I'm unbelievable as always, sitting here on this fine Thursday instead of a Wednesday, and a little bit earlier in the day instead of later in the day, because it works out that way. Yeah. That's just how it is, and so far, so daggum good. If you're watching live on YouTube, please do me a favor and hit the thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And before I even get rolling, I see that there's a super chat in here already in pre-show. Woo! Already in here in pre-show, coming from, let's see, that looks like Cinder Fractal. Oh, where'd it go? It didn't show on my screen now. That's bizarre. There it is. Now it's on the screen. Cinder Fractal with a $10 donation super chat. Thank you, Cinder Fractal. Appreciate that. And yeah, so on this show, folks, if you haven't catched the show before, I'd like to sit down and just talk about what's happening in day-to-day life. What's happening as far as like behind the scenes with the stuff that we do professionally. I, in particular, am a full-time creator, so that means I'm spending my time in front of or behind the camera 90% of the time, as well as I'm also a driver. I now drive part-time for a limo company, and that's been pretty cool. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that momentarily. Right now, I'm being interrupted by a dog that just, he is going to town on that bone. But I also want to bring in someone else that happens to be here. Y'all may know her as Queen Pruitt. I call her Phoebe Pruitt too. Phoebe Pruitt is in the house. How you be, dear?
I'm swell. How are you?
Unbelievable, as always, dear. Most folks were quite happy, I'm sure, to see that you're back now. And boom, there it is. As I see it on the screen. There it is.
It's so nice to be missed. Thank y'all for missing me and asking
It was literally
about me.
2
Thank
seconds.
you so much.
It was just literally 2 seconds and the crowd goes, wow.
Yay. Thank y'all. Makes me feel so special. Like I do.
Oh,
but no,
gosh.
for real, it really does feel good to be missed. And yeah, it really hit home when I hadn't talked to my mom in like a lot. And she called me a couple of weeks ago and I was extremely low. And she just asked how I was doing, but that was it. She didn't say anything else. And then later on to find out, she was like, I just had to check on you because I look forward to seeing you on that show because I put it on in the house and I feel like I can hear you and see you right there. So yeah. So when she literally does watch it. I didn't think she did.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's
cool.
It is. And then it was just like, okay, which I appreciate everybody. Cinder, Ozone, John, everybody, Tanya.
Hey, Tanya.
Hey, Tanya.
Hey, John. Hey, Ozone Nightmare. Good
everybody. It just gets like, for me, I was extremely dark in a very, very dark place and trying to be, not put that out there was like, I couldn't see. So it's like, I'm not getting ready to share all of this darkness with everybody else. They got their own darkness. I'll stay in the dark.
Nah, it ain't got to be like that. But and also I see Miss Phyllis Hauser's in the house too.
But that's how it is.
I want to make something clear here, just to, make sure there's no confusion, because I've seen some questions and comments regarding you being on and scheduling, programming, all of that good stuff with the show. So the rule, man, I mean, is it that good?
It's time for him to brush his teeth and get them all cleaned of tartar.
I mean,
his teeth are super clean.
Do y'all hear that? Because it's like loud in my ears.
I know you keep trying to do adjustments to change it. I don't think it is. And then he waits until we get on to start chewing it. I don't think he had started until he got to make his debut. Biscuit. You wanted to be seen? Is that it? You need your moment of fame?
Jeez, dude.
And then he dropped it. You see, you heard it.
And then go right back. And it's like, all right, okay, you really didn't want nothing. So
he's like, you did not want nothing. And I was on a roll. I had it in a good spot too. I was able to hold it. You messed it all up.
Messed it all up, woman. Oh man. Anyway, I was wanting to say, because I saw some comments and questions and so forth regarding, with you being on and programming and so on and so forth, scheduling and whatnot. And the rule that I had set in place way back when we started doing this thing was, if she feels like being on the mic, great. If she doesn't feel like being on the mic, I'm not forcing her to be on the mic. And if, we both have the scheduling times to be on the mic on a certain day and certain time, we'll do it. But, we also decided to exercise the right to be somewhat fluid because of how life is nowadays. We don't have the rigid schedules anymore that we used to have back in the days. So we have to be a little bit more fluid on that. That also means that I will end up doing solo shows because I made a commitment, however long ago we've been doing this. And I said, I'll keep doing this show as long as it continues to pay at least one bill a month. And it does. So it's still doing it. And we are freaking grateful because y'all are helping us with our day-to-day lives and paying a bill. So I'm going to be here, even if it's just me by myself and sharing some random thoughts like I have these last couple of weeks. And I got more random thoughts this week, but she's going to be over here to join us this time to get in said randomness, as well as just do a little bit of a catch up. I see a super chat. Dang it. I missed it. I'm so sorry. How did I miss the super chat?
Bone Thugs and Biscuit.
Bone Thugs and Biscuit. $5 super chat from my man John Helm over there in Kakalaki. Thank you, brother. Bone Thug and Biscuit, he says. Dude, not right. Thank you for that, bro. Appreciate that. Let me give you, and another one. Hold on. Dang. Another super chat.
Oh my thank goodness. You.
Miss Phyllis Hauser in the house with a $10 donation. Super chat. She says, keep on keeping on, fam. Miss Tanya says, that works for me. You are consistent but flexible. I appreciate that. I try. I that's one thing. I always try to be consistent in everything I do.
Yeah.
As boring as that is.
It is. I mean, it works for him. It works for you. I mean, you can't have two people that are consistent. I mean, the relationship wouldn't be it wouldn't be even equal.
We gotta have the yin and the yang. We got another super chat up in here. This comes from Ozone. Thank you, brother. He says, we all understand that the show has to bend to the needs of life. When you're both here, it's great. But if one of you needs a break, then take the break. We'll be here when you get back. Damn right. Thank you so much, my man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Cinder Fractor says continuity is appreciated, Aunt. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you, lady. So let's do a little bit of a catch up here. As previously mentioned, I think it was last week or week before last, I mentioned that the state of California was doing everything it could to kick us up out of here. It's trying hard. And told y'all that we were going to work on some things as best we can and just go from there. And then it came to the point where we found a small level of security that can help us get through at least the end of the year, and before we start and exit on up out of here. And now, if something changes between now and then, we shall see. But that was the original plan and contingency, if you will. So since then, things have transpired and things have changed. You know, I said we was going to work on some stuff to try to make it happen. And I mentioned that the limo company that I part-time work for was going to do everything in their power to try to get me more gigs. And they have. And it's been fun, actually, and quite an experience in some instances, too, because you get to see how the other folks live. Woo. Mm-hmm. Good Lord.
Getting in jets and
you get to see how the other half of the world lives. Man. Yeah, the other 1% of the world lives. That's what I should say. You get to see that. And I appreciate them doing everything they can, and just giving me opportunity and another experience kind of thing from a career standpoint, as well as I'm still driving Lyft. And, you know, even though a couple of weeks ago I had the accident, that wasn't my fault. That's finally squared away. I finally got my car back. It ended up costing a little bit more than expected, but it's taken care of. Thank you, God. The stuff was fixed, and my brakes, I had to get those done because I was due. So that was a ton of money, but I needed them, and they're done because, I mean, I've been up and down the coast of California a gazillion times in the last 10 months. I'm bound to need some brakes going up and down the side of a mountain. So that's done. I got my car back, and I'm back rolling yet again, picking up people in Lyft. You, on the other hand, you'd been working on some stuff too, trying to find more part-time work and gigs and so forth. And you landed at one spot at the bar being a server. But again, like we always do, we put our name in the hats and other opportunities out there. And you put your name in the hat for an opportunity, and said opportunity didn't present itself, apparently, because you wasn't trying for that, but something else presented itself. And I'll just let you talk if you feel like sharing anything.
I applied for a job I got information from a lady that I was in the play with, School of Rock. And I applied for this position at a resort that's going to be opening up. It's brand new. It's brand spanking new, Appalachian Resort. And there's a spa there. And I applied for positions there. They had the open interviews and everything. I couldn't make it to that one. But I went the next day and had an interview right then. But it was like in between that job, leaving the casino, and hearing back from that job was a lot of time with no income. It was. Yeah. And so I kept applying everywhere, and was able to walk into BJ's during their 2 to 5 hours of coming in. So I went in with my resume, had an interview, and then I had the second interview shortly after that, and I was hired as a server. Now, mind you, I have not been full service server like that since some years ago, and a long time ago. When is the last time I worked? I don't even know. Full service like that. It's been a long time.
It's been at least 6+ years.
I did the little bartending thing at
Not counting that.
No, because I said it was fun. Yeah. But, taking the beverage orders. It's been a long time.
It's been since Carolina.
It's been.
That's how long it's been. It's been since Carolina.
Yeah, it's been since even before that. But it's. Things and generations have changed with the work, but it's BJ's, BJ's Bistro.
It's a bar
pizza
and grill.
Bar grill, but it's busy. It's busy. A lot of the other chains are closing. Well, around here, which they weren't getting that much business anyway, but Applebee's, they're shutting down. So it's starting to pick up. And then we've been the firefighters. Anyway, I jumped all the way ahead. So I got back.
Here we go.
I started working at the BJ's and I'm working there. And after my training, I get a call from the other place, the resort that I had applied for. And she's like, I didn't forget about you. And I thought that they absolutely had. It was like a month and a half. Mm. So, it seemed. But so long story short, we all had orientation at said brand new resort spa, what is still under construction. And they're supposed to open next week. So we'll be going, I got a little bit of a schedule. The next couple of weeks are going to be hardcore for me. My last day, I wanted to stay at BJ's and I was going to try to stay at BJ's, but this new resort will allow us to cross train so I can work in the restaurants as well as the spa.
You are literally from the ground up in this right now.
Yes. I've never been a part of a company from the ground up.
What the hell? What?
I don't know why he does that all of a sudden.
What is wrong with you, dog? Good Lord. Jeez. Live chat Cinder Fractal says, must be nice working with the brand spanking new setting. Yeah, that's gonna be fun to see. And as I've shared with you, it's gonna be challenging too because everything is new and
everybody learning.
There's no processes in place yet. You know, you're sort of figuring out processes as you go. And, you know, okay, when so-and-so shows up for this service, okay, what is our standard operating procedure for that service? Oh, that's taking a little too long. Maybe we should fix this and trim that. You know, it's going to be a lot of that type of on the job, gasoline draws on in the fire kind of thing, figuring that stuff out. But
everybody is aware that it's new. That's what I like. And we're all working together. Like these schedules, we're just now getting pieces of the schedule that's going to come because everything's on hold. Yeah. For me, I'm not waiting to go on set, but everything's like, okay, are you available on this day? Well, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know because I might have to work, might not, but I don't know. Yeah. But things have changed in the restaurant world. People don't have the same type of work ethic as they did back in our day. Like even I look back, even as 21-year-old working at Chili's or however old I was, we still did work. We worked. It wasn't a lot of not working. It wasn't a lot of just standing around on your phone, which we wouldn't have phones. Did we have phones? I didn't have a phone.
No, you didn't. We're older, dear. Phyllis Hauser says, congrats on your new gig, Queen Pruitt.
Thank you. I'm excited about all the work. And all the opportunities because it will have opportunities. In the restaurant's beautiful. It's a beautiful resort, and where it is bougie point 101. I don't know. Bougie Highway 101. I could say that. North. Yeah.
It's all wine country resorts. There's a handful of different options over here.
Well, Montage is right across the street.
Yeah. So
literally. So
yeah, it's
a lot.
It's gonna be cool. Again, you're on the ground floor, as the investors like to say, and get to be a part of the very beginning and get to see what it's all going to take, as well as just leave your own mark.
Having one-on-ones with the owners, in orientation,
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy.
That is. They so down to earth when we walked in. I never would have thought that those were the owners standing there bringing everybody in. They were just dressed like chefs, and the other ones just and they just talking to us. Like they're doing presentations in orientation. You know how you corporate orientation where you got wah 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 wah.
All of the CYA stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't like that.
Well, but that's the thing is because it's so new, they had to do it. Yeah. I mean, it ain't like they don't. It's not like they have all of the resources just yet. It's
It's them and their
spanking new.
Yeah.
It's brand spanking new. But that's good to hear. Of course, I'm happy about all of that.
We might be able to pull this California thing off just like the rest of us.
We might, we're waiting on all of that stuff to kick off. Looking forward to it. But yeah, challenge accepted, and we'll keep pushing along. And thank you all for all of the support, especially the folks in Patreon that has been supporting us directly and indirectly, and means a lot. All of the kind messages that we've gotten, that I've gotten in particular, because
it's your show.
I share stuff in it.
I'm just kidding.
Because I share messages in Patreon that are for specific members from time to time, and it's nice to be able to just be frank with them and share what's happening and get their feedback and support. It really does help and goes a long way. So thank y'all for that. We're going to pause for a quick commercial break. And when we come back, I'll share some insight on recent experiences as the chauffeur, and that I didn't share with the public. I only shared it with Patreon. So y'all stay right there. This is Everyday People Doing Everyday Shit. And that is Phoebe over there hitting something on the mic. Not sure what it was, but some things never change apparently. Stay right there. We'll be right back after this. And we're back. Everyday People Doing Everyday Shit. Hope y'all are doing well. I am Aunt Pruitt. She is Phoebe Pruitt. This show, we're sitting around on these here mics and just talking about random everyday stuff. As the live chat is saying right now, we're the Antsporter, the Antsporter.
What?
Ozo Nightmare is basically talking about me as a chauffeur, some kind of creative way. And John Helm says, now we need an AI image of this. Please do not encourage him to do that. Please. I've seen some of his AI work. Oh my. Before the break, I was wanting to tell y'all a little bit about my experience now as a chauffeur. And I'm now on my own. I'm not in training anymore, and I've been riding out on my own. And so that first weekend, it was fairly easy because, and it just lucked out this way. It was fairly easy because the people that I had to deal with were both coming from the same resort. They were just leaving at different times. So I go to the resort, pick one person up, take them to the airport, drop them off, boom, go back and get the next person at the same resort. It take them to a different airport, stuff like that. It was fairly easy, just a bit of a loop kind of thing, but that one person I picked up, man, I dropped them off at the airport, at the private airport, the private jet airport. Now, during my training, I saw, what the hell is going on with this dog? Biscuit, what is your problem?
You're attacking me.
What is wrong with you, dude? You can't just sit down? And don't you bark either. You better not. Damn dog. What is wrong with you, dude?
He needs to go ahead and run it out.
And then sneezing everywhere. Thanks. Anyway, I was saying the previous, like one of my training runs, I was telling y'all about the Bohemian Club or something. And it was like this elite group of people. They meet once a year for a week in the woods at this resort, and it costs $1 gazillion to go. And you can only be invited by said elite person. That was a level of,
I don't know what's going on with Biscuit today.
Are you serious? You really just got on the mic? Just what is
going on, bruh?
Do you need some? I don't know. You need some Benadryl, NyQuil, what?
Wow.
Jeez. Woo. Okay, so I'm gonna try this one more time. So I picked up this one group, and I'll just say group. Take them to the private section of the airport. Okay, and I went through my little procedures and whatnot, and looked up their flight number, yada yada, tail number, yada yada yada. Punched it in, and the gates finally opened, and they let me in. So I'm riding around on the little taxiway looking for said jet. and I turned the corner, and you can't miss this jet. This thing just.
It's like something you see on
it didn't
Boys or
it didn't even look real. I mean, it's like, you remember how we used to look at Lifestyle of the Rich and Famous and then look at MTV Cribs and, you know, we see how opulent stuff was. It was like that on steroids. And I'm sitting here just slowly taxiing over to this thing with the passengers in the back seat or whatever. And in the back of my head, I'm like, it's only 3 of y'all getting on that big ass plane. It's only 3 of y'all getting on that big ass plane.
Wow.
You know, and I pull up
nice.
And they got their staff, you know, the flight crew, they're out there waiting on me, and they're just standing at attention and uniformed up, and just, it was unbelievable. The paint on this thing shined like it was a brand new Maybach or something, or a brand new Bentley. Just, I ain't never seen a plane shining like that. And just made me think, what the hell does the inside look like? Mm-hmm. And again, it was only 3 of them, just 3 of them on there. And they wasn't flying far. I ain't gonna say where they're going, that's private, but they wasn't flying far. Could have drove there.
Why would anybody drive anywhere though, if they didn't have to? Not even on a jet, but anywhere.
Man. That thing, it was something else. So that was one experience. And then another experience was a bit of a mishap. So I got up this past Sunday. I had a really, really early pickup, like 4 a.m. kind of thing, to get these passengers to the airport so they can get out of town. I show up to my spot, and I'm supposed to be early, of course. And I was early, way early. Man, you know, them passengers, they was out there waiting on me. There's a bunch of little old ladies just
took you long enough.
Little old ladies, they out there, bags in hand, everything. And I'm like, did y'all even go to sleep? Or, you know, but they were very kind. I dropped them off. And so I'm thinking, okay, that one's done. What's my next ride? And I look down at my phone. It's got the little app or whatever, and it tells me what my next ride is. And I start making my way to get the next car, because I had to change cars and all of that. And so I take off down the road, and my little check engine light came on in my car. So I'm like, oh shit, this ain't good. Call up the team that I need to call up, say, hey, the check engine light is on in here. Okay, go back. So I go back to wait and see what they want to do and whatever. And they was like, does it seem like everything is fine mechanically? I said, yes, it does seem totally fine. And they said, well, go ahead and ride. We're going to make a note, yada, yada, yada. So I take off down the road again, and I'm trying to look at my little app that tells me where I'm going, when I'm supposed to be there, so on and so forth. And it wasn't updating. It just kept hanging there like it was pending. So I called them up again. I was like, hey, can y'all push this job to me so I can do what I need to do? And they were like, yeah, we've already pushed it. And I said, no, I'm not seeing it. So I pulled over, rebooted my phone and all of that stuff. Still nothing. And the guy was like, dude, I just pushed it again. I said, it's not there. And so I opened it up one more time, and the job was for the next day, not that day. So fortunately, I didn't drive too far, but I'm sitting there and I was like, oh shit, I need to take this car back. Somebody probably needs this car. And I told the guy on the phone, and he's like, oh yeah, I thought you were so-and-so. So he screwed up too. But fortunately, none of the passengers were affected.
I did the same thing going to work that day. On the I was like, why all this traffic out here on a Saturday? Why are these lights on getting on the freeway on a Saturday?
Totally
it's like, what is today?
Totally screwed up the day
Dress
of the week.
and everything. Everything.
Totally screwed up the day, but we're good now. Again, no passengers were affected by my mishaps and screw ups. And it was just a little egg on my face. And I did get to go back to the house early. So there was that. But it's been fun so far. Just, you know, getting the flow down and dealing with some of the passengers and their different personalities Because again, most of the time you're dealing with some elite people. They order a chauffeur or a limo service because they don't want to order an Uber or a taxi. And they've been cool. So I got an early one tomorrow at the time of this recording. I got an early one tomorrow morning. I need to be at the city by like 5:30 a.m. or something like that. And
fun times.
Yeah, but
I'll be up too because I start my double tomorrow. We will start in the morning. I have to be there at 8 o'clock. I have to be there at 8 o'clock. I have to be there at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
I have to be in Healdsburg at 8 o'clock. There's a difference.
Okay, all right. Okay, so maybe you will.
Yeah.
So maybe you will be up.
Yeah, and
struggling.
then until 4, and then 4:30 until at the restaurant. So that's tomorrow, and then the next day
I have a gap in
8
mind.
to 11, and then 12 to I don't know when. That's 8 to 11 in Healdsburg.
Yeah,
and then noon until
because it's the weekend. Yeah,
and then we've been getting a lot of the firefighters. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, when I got there yesterday, it was 17 fire trucks.
Yeah.
In the parking lot. And it was like that Sunday when I left. I never seen so many. Never.
I drove by one of their camps the other day where they set up to fight the fire. I think it's called the Picket Fire here in Napa County. And you could see the smoke from here at one point, but they've definitely gotten some control over it because I don't see the smoke anymore.
You can smell it on them.
But
they're not, they're in their uniform or whatever.
Yeah.
Not the fight or, the one that looks like they're in the military. Anyway, they're in that. They're not in the gear. And, it's rows and rows. And if you would go to that side of the restaurant where any of them were, you could just smell hickory or smoke, like the stuff that when you're cooking.
Yeah.
Smoking.
Shout out to those firefighters. They are definitely helping people out up there. I haven't heard a lot about deaths up there. They have had some evacs and people are getting up out of there. That's good. I sort of want to go over there because my favorite barbecue joint is in that spot. And when I was up there doing one of my rides, that particular spot seemed to be clear of the fire because I had some trepidation about going up there and causing traffic because, it's up a mountain. It's all, one lane streets up there. And that's another thing that makes it difficult for the firefighters. It's hard for them to get in there and get up out of there. But yeah, shout out to those folks. Let's see. John Helm in chat says go to bed early. Yeah, I plan on it. My day is not going to be as packed as hers. I do have a gap. So I do that run first thing in the morning, bright and early. Then I have a gap until football game tomorrow night. This will be the locals start. This is their first week starting football, high school football. I've already shot volleyball game, and I have a volleyball game I'm supposed to shoot tonight, I think, too. So that's getting back into the swing of things. And boy, my first volleyball game, good Lord, you can tell when it's the first one because I'm just missing. Just
like what?
I'm like, I know that girl ain't that fast,
And all you getting is the bitch.
Like, I know that girl ain't that fast. Good Lord. Oh, that's a really pretty wall I took a picture of. There's a lot of that the other day. It's like, man, you can tell when you're out of practice on some stuff, man.
Mm-hmm. I can't walk right now because of freaking leg day over there just trying to No, this shouldn't be this bad. I'm supposed to ease back in it. Not to mention I'm already almost broke down from just going to work. Just walking. Around. Oh, goodness gracious. I'll give you a little bit of grace on it, but at the same time, it's sort of expected what you felt in the gym today because if you've been out for 2 weeks, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. I missed a week
and paid the price, So just imagine 2 weeks. John Helm says, is the Hardhead going to be playing? They have their first game. The JUCO, they're starting their season this weekend, just like the rest of the college football season. Yes, college football starts today, actually. Probably playing right about now. It's 3:00 our time. That's this weekend. Santa Rosa Junior College is playing San Francisco Community College, or whatever they call this, the city JUCO. They play them Saturday at 1:00. So I'll be there Saturday morning to check that out. Right now, he's slated as the number 2 nickelback, John. He's the number 2 or nickelback or star. Depends. Some teams call him the star. That position, the star. And someone, I believe it was Mr. Christopher in Patreon, was asking about with me being a chauffeur on Sundays, because Sunday is like my primary day and part of Saturday. They've already made that clear. How will that affect my football season? Well, Sunday is not affecting it at all because I don't really watch the pro ball that much. Saturday is definitely a sacrifice. But right now, most of my runs, from what I'm being told, is definitely going to be Sundays because that's like the busier of the 2 days because people are either coming in to town or leaving town on Sundays. So I'm totally fine with that. And if anything sort of sneaks in on a Saturday, it'll be a sacrifice and I have to take it. Just got to get that cash.
It's hard out here for a pimp.
Not a pimp, but I get it.
When you trying to get this money for the rent.
That.
Biscuit.
Yeah, Saturday, I'm going to be here for a little while, but then I don't know what time I need to leave to get to the ball game by 1. So I'm probably like, damn, I didn't think about that. I'm going to have to leave earlier than expected because I like to get to games early and watch the warm-ups and just see what people are looking like. I'm weird like that. I don't like showing up right at kickoff. I think that's a waste. You lose a lot of data. Anyway, everyday people doing everyday shit on whatever podcast app you enjoy. Stay right there. We're going to pause for a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. What do you want? Do you need to go pee or something?
Yes.
That must be what it is.
What time is it?
We'll let him go pee. So stay right there. We'll be right back after this. And we're back. Everyday people doing everyday shit. Hope y'all doing well. Unbelievable as always. Ant Pruitt, freelancer, creator at large, doing as best I can in that space. Phoebe Pruitt, right there's.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Good line. I had a photo shoot yesterday, and it was fascinating because, you get your call sheet usually 24 hours before said shoot. And what the hell is going on with your head? What is this that's going on with your hair?
I don't know.
Okay. So I had said shoot yesterday, and it was, you get your call sheet usually 24 hours before the shoot. Mm-hmm. And so I head down there to the facility and basically just showing off a new corporate business park kind of thing. Again, hi, Ant, can you play a tech person? Can you play a executive? Sure, I got that down. I even got to play a podcaster in this one too. So get down to this facility, and I'm trying to find my particular spot because there's going to be 3 different scenes. And they told me to go to the first scene right when I get there. And I'm driving through the parking lot, and there's nowhere to park. And there's all this construction going on. So they got the scaffoldings and stuff going everywhere and heavy equipment. And then you see a group of cars here, and then more heavy equipment, and then a group of cars there. It was literally nowhere to park. And so at first I was a little pissed off because I was like, the producers should warn somebody about that because the producers are going to be there before any of the talent and so forth. I got nothing. So I'm calling up to say, hey, I'm here. I'm not late. I just don't have anywhere to park. And wasn't getting any answers because it's just going straight to voicemail and so on and so forth. And finally got through to someone, and they was like, yeah, we're sorry. We didn't realize how bad the parking situation was going to be. So I ended up parking way off somewhere. And I said, all right, I'm parked now, but it's just going to take me a minute to get there. And then when I get there and meet the rest of my coworkers and so forth, and they were cool, they were great. But unfortunately, two of the folks that were going to be on set, two of the other models on set dropped. Something come up or what have you. Probably they had a bigger paying gig. Shit happens, you know, because I know I was looking twice because there was a shoot happening the same day, and there's one that's happening today and they were nice. And I auditioned for both of them. I got callbacks for both of them. So I was like, okay, we'll see what happens. So they had two people drop, and they ended up just getting some stand-ins. And one of them was someone that the producer knew. And she was great. She did well. And another person, I can't really say where they're from, but they were totally green on this. And it was, for me, it was a situation of, I didn't want to come off and be like a know-it-all kind of thing. So I just sort of stood off to myself until called. You know, when the director says, go do this and that, I went and did this and that, you know, but for whatever reason, I ended up speaking with this green person more so than expected. And it was great. You know, it took her a minute to get the hint that if the director don't say so, you don't do so. It's just how it goes, you know, because people that get on set and they have all of these ideas. They may be great ideas, but the script says to do so-and-so, and that's what they have to make sure they capture. And this was all stills. This was no video. It was all just a bunch of photos. A little hot out there. They were kind enough to make sure we had umbrellas and stuff like that to try to keep us shaded. And I put my sunscreen on because I just couldn't take a chance, but unfortunately, that was making some things a little bit shiny. So every now and then they had to block me and whatnot. But it was one of those, for me, it was just to live and learn. Just, I need to do better about making sure I stay in the shade so I don't get hot, because I get hot really easily. And then just the passing on of information to the other folks on set. And, you know, even down to just some of the blocking stuff, you know, because the director was like, okay, in this scene, I'm going to shoot y'all doing X, Y, Z, you know, so in my head, I already know what that means. You know, if you're someone in a boardroom or a meeting room or what have you, there's a certain aesthetic that you're looking for. There's a certain posture you're looking for, certain mannerisms and things like that, you know, and so a couple of times I'd say, hey, you should blah, 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 blah. And basically I was hinting at them, do this gesture or make this facial expression, a point here, or that kind of thing. And there was one instance where they didn't get my hint, and I just told them straight up, hey, look right there. That's what they want you to do. Here's the light. They want you to look right there towards the light so the light hits your face and you look good on camera. You know, just, you know, little stuff like that. But again, if you don't know, you don't know. You know, but like I said, I just had that moment of, I didn't want to come off as a know-it-all and be that jerk on the set. I see Clarence is in the house. Hey, what's up, man? Mr. Clarence Brown has joined us in the live chat.
Hello.
Good to see you, brother. But yeah, that was that shoot. And then I had another shoot last week. What was last week's shoot? I can't remember it now. It's just a week ago and I can't even remember it. Oh, I do remember it now. Yeah, because I was on set with the guy. Remember the job that I got casted for and then it was immediately stripped away?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I found out the guy that got that. I found the person that actually got that gig.
Yeah.
And fortunately, he's a good dude. And he was on my shoot with me last week. And it was nice talking to him about it. And I told him what went down. And you know, he was like, oh, that's too bad, you know, but I'm like, dude, it's, you know, I'm glad you got it and not some other jackass, that kind of thing. But yeah, that one was in the city and it went really, really quickly, unfortunately, because getting in and out of the city during business hours is pretty interesting, especially down there like near Salesforce and the financial district and stuff like that. So not going to say who we were shooting for, but it was in the financial district in that particular vicinity, you know. Just have to be careful with all of the interesting parking because none of the parking is like secured. If it's not inside of a garage, you know, they just have all those lots. So people are doing the smash and grabs and stuff like that. You have to be mindful of all of that stuff, as well as just the homeless people that are walking the financial district and just wanting help. And, you know, so it's a challenge at times. And I remember seeing in one of my briefings, you know, they brought that up, but the way they brought it up, I appreciated it because he had compassion about it. The producer, he says, look, these people are unhoused and, you know, we're right down here in one of the richest areas of the city. He said, it's something, he said something along the lines of don't be a jerk to them because they've had it a lot worse than you, you know, he was real compassionate about that. And I messaged him back and I was like, man, I appreciate you putting that in writing, you know, like that to everybody, you know, but it was a good shoot. It was quick. And now I just wait on the next stuff. I've done a couple more auditions. I had a VO audition last night when I got back from the other shoot, and we just go from there. Anything you'd like to add before we get out of here other than gotta go let the dog pee? Nothing on your mind, nothing on your brain?
What's on my brain is I want some snacks and I'm so sore.
Fat kid club.
And when I say snacks, I was getting ready to tell you I want the healthy kind.
Whatever.
I would like to have
Fat kid club.
I have some carrots in there. And I don't have salad dressing, but I'm so sore. Like getting out of this position, I already know it's going to be a challenge. I got into it. But on a normal day, it wouldn't be a challenge to get out. That's what I'm thinking about is, you got to get out of this to go in there.
Oh, gosh.
And walk.
Actually, before we go, I want to pull out this one article quickly and give a shout out to Miss Tanya because she shared this and it really made me laugh. You know, we're people that are particular about our clothes. We like to make sure we're fresh and clean, wash and dryer, even if we got to dry clean and so forth. Well, Tanya Wyman shared a collaboration featuring the folks at Whirlpool. Okay, where's my desk share button? There it is. The folks at Whirlpool and the one and only Big Boi of Outkast. And this Whirlpool and Big Boi. Whirlpool knew that only one man could certify the fresh factor of their front load washing machines. Mega hit rapper and producer Big Boi. So they teamed up and dropped a limited edition washer and dryer set that takes freshness to another level. Each custom designed laundry set is decked out with hundreds of hand-picked crystals around the door and knob. A quote, certified by Big Boi badge.
For a wash.
And is engineered to play the beloved chorus of the early 2000s hit. So fresh, so clean. After every wash cycle.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
This thing, I'll see if I can get the video to play here. There it is. Let me do that. You see the little crystals?
Wow.
Certified by Big Boi. Limited edition, 20,000 hand-placed crystals.
Oh, I would love to do that.
I bet you would. Look at that, man. Come on, man.
Wow. for your dirty draws.
Lord.
Nothing but the best.
Not that they're a sponsor, but I thought this was funny. You can get this thing starting at $748.99 here in the U.S. for the front load Energy Star washer with fresh flow vent system. And then they have the dryer. I think the dryer's at $848. And then they have another bigger washing machine that's $848 as well. Tanya says she's going to try to get her one. No, she didn't. She said she wants one.
That's pretty
cool. But I thought that was funny.
That is pretty cool.
Good Lord. All right, folks. Going to get on up out of here. Live chat. Man, that scrolled really fast. What happened there? Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, says Cinder Fractal. But I mean, the thing is, it was crystals. Did it really have to be crystals? Now, had they said diamonds?
Well, it would cost more.
Well,
he's thinking about the person that's buying it.
Yeah, so, yeah, I don't know.
Because, I mean, who could really afford it if it was
It makes me wonder, what does it cost
diamonds?
what does it cost without the crystals?
That takes away, that's like, how much would my potheads cost without the crystals on them?
Yeah.
You placing that on there, that's somebody's job.
Yeah, that's true.
Paid.
That's true.
And it looks freaking beautiful because it's sparkly. And people like sparkly things. Lots of people love sparkly things. And he did really good, I think, with the marketing.
Yeah, he did. It's
going to pull for the people that like sparkly things.
Bedazzle washer and dryer, says Cinder Fractal Ozone. And Clarence said, we are talking about it, so I guess the marketing worked. Yep. Phyllis Hauser says crystals are going to fall off. I wonder about that.
I thought they were on the inside.
No, they're around the edges of...
it wasn't encased?
No, they're around the edges of the buttons and the edges of the door. You see that? It didn't look like there was any kind of protective cover on it or what have you, but it was definitely bedazzled. And yes, we are talking about it. So shout out to their marketing team. They suckered us in. Folks, thank y'all for listening to us ramble each and every week. I had a whole bunch of stuff over here in my little show prep notes to talk about. Lots of off the wall things and some things that makes me go, we may get into those next week. We shall see. Again, we do this some point in a week, once a week. I will let you all know on Patreon when the next broadcast is going to happen. Or if you're subscribed in YouTube, you'll see it automatically as long as you hit the little notification buttons in there. So if you haven't subscribed in YouTube, please feel free to do so right now. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for being a member of the Patreon Extended Family. If you're interested in joining the Patreon Extended Family, you can do so for free by going to patreon.com/AntPruitt. Again, that's patreon.com/AntPruitt. We lost a couple of members, but it's all good. We still have a pretty strong daggum community in there, and I love every one of y'all, even you, Ozone, even you, John. Yeah, love y'all. All right, folks. Y'all be good. Do something good for yourself. Do something good for someone else. Know that it's okay to love you some you because, damn it, you're worth it. Now take care.